up, guys? Late night cast, Mac here. I guess it's early morning now, but talking everything Carolina Panthers news, notes, moves, and thoughts heading into free agency, and even thoughts on the Teddy Bridgewater, Deshaun Watson QB quandary that has developed in Carolina over the last couple of months, and us talking about Deshaun Watson and everybody wanting him here. And I might get roasted for my comments on that, but we all have an opinion, and that's the great thing about sports. And I will give a disclaimer that all I care about is the Carolina Panthers getting back to the playoffs and staying there and becoming a Super Bowl contender in the coming years. And that's all I care about, is winning. And whoever is in a Carolina Panther uniform, I will love you, and I will bleed black and blue forever, so that's all that matters. So keep pounding there. But I really like the moves that the Carolina Panthers have made. Keen, sharp. All teams are trying to figure out how to navigate this lowest salary cap since 2011, saving every penny, every dollar, and causing a lot of quality NFL players to be looking for jobs. And that's the nature of the business, but that part kind of stinks because these are people. But it's going to be fun, wild, and wacky, and just so interesting and intriguing to watch. And I'm really excited. I really love the direction the Carolina Panthers are going. The culture is setting in very nicely. It's in second year in Matt Rule's system and Phil Snow's system, so they know the players that they want and need to succeed and get back to the winning ways. So I really like the mentality and things that they've shaped in a year plus under Matt Rule and now Scott Fittner. I just really love the direction we're going, and the moves quantify that as well. Signing Taylor Moton to that $13.75 million franchise tag was almost a must, given how inconsistent our offensive line has been. Bad at times, really bad at times with injuries and inconsistencies. Taylor Moton is one of the stalwarts and probably the only bright spot at times in the last 3 or 4 years, only allowing 13 pressures last season. So this was a must, especially with 6 of our free agents were offensive linemen. So it was really important to keep Taylor Moton in the fold, and I'm hoping we can keep him in the fold long term with an extension, which needs to happen by July, but at least he's in the fold for this year. And thanks to Christian McCaffrey and Shaq Thompson restructuring their deals, $5.6 million for Christian McCaffrey and $6.1 for Shaq Thompson, where those moves basically pay that Taylor Moton franchise tag, allowing some flexibility with the cap space, because otherwise it would have been eaten up really quick, because $13.75 million, and us having only about 31.5 at this moment in total. But now with the generosity and selflessness of Christian McCaffrey and Shaq Thompson for the betterment of the team, we at least have more flexibility to address our needs in the draft and in free agency, the back end, cornerback, safeties, and offensive line, and some other things as well. It was really important. So thanks to those guys, saving us some cheddar there. We signed J.J. Jansen to a 1-year long snapper. J.J. Jansen to a 1-year contract. He is the last holdover from the John Fox era, and I think as a long snapper, it's a really good thing that we don't talk about you very much, and he's just been very consistent, very reliable, and one of our best special teams guys for so many years. And he's like a secret weapon on the special teams. He was the one that had that punt stop at the 1-yard line of the LA Charger game, and he's the reason we won that game, and gives great confidence to our field goal kickers that they're going to get a great snap and get a great opportunity to do their job and make a field goal when we need it. J.J. Jensen has not been the problem. He's been a great solution and a gray beard, but still does his job very, very well, and a nice thing to have him continuity and familiarity on that unit. So congratulations to J.J. Jensen on that. Real quick on the Deshaun Watson, Teddy Bridgewater QB quandary. I honestly do not. I want a quarterback of the caliber of Deshaun Watson, no doubt. But I don't want to pay a king's ransom for a player like that, because it's not like we're one player away from being in Super Bowl contention. Yes, we've had strides on our defensive side with the additions of Brian Burns, Yetur Gross Matos, Derek Brown, Jeremy Chin, and others on our defense. But as I said, our offensive line hasn't been great at all. Our defense is young and still learning, and another year in the Matt Rule and Phil Snow system is going to pay big dividends. But I think trading two cornerstone defensive players, which is what Texans are asking for at the very least, is a step backwards, because Brian Burns is a game wrecker, just like Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly, who I don't throw those names around lightly. Brian Burns is that type of guy, and I think you're just taking a huge step backwards if you add him in a package, plus draft picks 8, and then probably a lot more 4 or 5 first rounders. That's going to set you back for a while, especially if you don't get this type of deal right. And Deshaun Watson wants to win, and I don't necessarily see us winning even with the addition of Deshaun Watson with where our complete team is. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just if we add Deshaun Watson and we don't win and we mortgage a lot of our team, then we're set back for decade plus, and you don't want that. And Dave Tepper doesn't want that. Yes, he wants a franchise quarterback. Everybody wants a franchise quarterback, but we've seen if you don't have a quality offensive line, even the best quarterback in the world is going to struggle, like Patrick Mahomes did in the Super Bowl. So as much as I want a franchise guy like Deshaun Watson, I want to pump the brakes, because the price tag is just astronomical, and I appreciate the building blocks the Panthers have gotten over the last 3 or 4 years, and I don't think I want to give that away. Christian McCaffrey, yes, had the injury bug last year, but those were freak injuries, and I don't think they happen again. And he's more than a running back. He's a wide receiver and running back, anything you want in one player, and that takes a lot away from our offense, especially if we lose Curtis Samuel to free agency, which is a big possibility, I think, because off of his great year. And I know I was really hard on Teddy Bridgewater, especially the latter half of the season with the disastrous red zone turnovers and his unwillingness to kind of throw the ball down the field. But that was also a product of a revolving door offensive line, some other injuries, Christian McCaffrey gone 85% of the season, a new system in offense and things of that nature, and we still had 4 1,000-yard players: Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and I can't think of the other one right now, but 4 1,000-yard plus players on an offense that didn't have Christian McCaffrey for 85% of the year. That is definitely something to build on. And do I think Teddy Bridgewater is the guy? No, but I think we need to give him a little more leeway, because he'll know the system better, know the pieces better, and I think with Christian McCaffrey in there, most of the time he'll have more of a willingness to throw the ball down the field if we can get him some protection and he's not running for his life. Not to mention, our defense last year didn't force a punt. We got from week 3 to week 6, we didn't force a punt, and that's just not quarterbacks having to play against their defense too is not a recipe for success. And I think our young defense kind of found their footing at the latter half of last season, and I think that could be a dark horse kind of thing if our defense finds its footing even more in the second season under Phil Snell and getting more quality players in their system that know what the Panthers want and their type of players. Then I think we're going to be better off that way and seeing what happens. And I think drafting a quarterback, maybe a Justin Fields, or trading up if we feel that's necessary, or even like a Shane Buechele or something like that. I don't know his name. Yeah, I think it was Shane Buechele from SMU, some type of guy like that, and let him sit a little bit, couple games. If it's a Justin Fields, maybe have him sit a couple of games, see how Teddy does, and then if not, if you feel that we can go to the other guy and trade Teddy Bridgewater for something, then do that. But I think we can't give up on Teddy Bridgewater that quickly. If we do, I'll go with it, because like I said, all I care about is winning football games. But I think Deshaun Watson is just he's a great quarterback, and I would love him so much, but I don't want to mortgage what we've already put together in Carolina. And I think Matt Rule and company are smart to that and understand that, and just getting a quarterback doesn't automatically equal wins, especially if you can't stop anybody. And giving up a Brian Burns or Jeremy Chin will just set us back even further, and with no draft capital, that could be worse too. So those are my thoughts on the Teddy Bridgewater Deshaun Watson deal. And one other thing, we did get two comp picks, 2 6-rounders that could be used in trades or to add to our draft class in 2021. But whatever happens, keep pounding. Go Panthers, always bleed black and blue, baby.